Guam will be having a record-breaking third bone marrow drive this year, and this time it'll be for 16-year-old Kayla Garrido, a rugby player and student at George Washington High School that was diagnosed with severe aplastic anemia in February, and 37-year-old Eugene Borja, a former Guam resident and PE teacher in California, who was diagnosed with acute lymphoblastic leukemia around the end of March. Today, PNC spoke with the father of Kayla, Michael Garrido, and students from the Guam Community College's Supervision and Management Program who are sponsoring the drive. Kayla's father explains his daughter needs a bone marrow transplant to cure her illness.
It will ensure that the recovery for the severe aplastic anemia that she was diagnosed with is a full or pretty close to 100% recovery without any remittance in the future. Without it, she would still have treatment, but it would still have a higher percentage of maybe remitting and maybe even becoming leukemia.
Because Guam cannot support his daughter's treatment regimen, Garrido mentions Kayla and his wife Kim are in Houston, Texas for the long term, while he works and raises their other children here. He notes Kayla is still in good spirits and wants to enjoy the rest of her teenage years.
Typical 16-year-old is trying to have a good time and enjoy her teenage years. She was really athletic before this happened. She was in sports with the school with cross country, track, and she's been a runner ever since middle school back in August. So, it was really a real shock to us.
Meanwhile, GCC's Bone Marrow Drive coordinators Lisa Ibanez, Daphne Babalta, and Terry Guerrero say they were inspired to get involved with this service learning project because of their instructor, Fred Tupaz, who is also the vice president of the Guam National Youth Football Federation. They say organizing a drive wouldn't have been made possible without Dr. Tom Shea.
Dr. Shea was very detrimental in assisting us in that aspect. You're good.
We've had to go and find a venue in businesses. We've gone out to businesses and tried to seek their help in assisting us in making it a successful event.
The GCC class representatives held pre-registration for the drive last weekend. They advised the public that the new rule only allows adults between the ages of 18 to 44 to register because the success rate for transplants is higher. But otherwise, they explained the registration process is simple, with some forms to fill out and a cheek swab.
We just swab off of the inside of the cheek, and that gets sent off to Honolulu for testing for possible match, and then they'll be contacted after that if they are possible matches or potential matches.
PNC also spoke to Carrie Ann Borja by phone about her brother Eugene's condition. She says before he was diagnosed, he exhibited flu-like symptoms for 3 weeks, and blood tests revealed he had a higher white blood cell count than normal.
In a regular person, for example, it's maybe about 5,000. He had about 30,000, which is kind of a telltale that something's not right, and ultimately it could be cancer of some sort.
Borja adds that her brother just finished his 8th round of chemotherapy and is in good spirits. Their family is hopeful they'll find a match for him to survive and be there for his 2 young children, Joaquin and Nyla. However, she emphasizes it's important for Guam residents to register because the Pacific Islander pool in the National Marrow Donor Program is small.
People who come out to donate and to find out if they're a match, you may not necessarily be a match for my brother or Kayla, but you definitely could be a match for somebody else in need, and ultimately could possibly save their life.
The Bone Marrow Drive for Kayla and Eugene will be at the Agana Shopping Center from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. on Saturday, October 20th. People who registered before do not need to register again, but are encouraged to show up for support. Registration takes less than 10 minutes. For more information, contact the Guam Medical Association at 483-6600. Josh Tikenko, PNC News.